I have a textbook here, okay, and I notice you haven't had the textbook in class. So I've got one here. Now I'm going to loan it to you, but there has to be a contract here. We have to have an agreement. Now, if you get an A, you get to keep the textbook. Because this textbook is being used for the second thermodynamics, so they use it for 2 semesters, and it's expensive. So I say, if you get an A, you get to keep the textbook. If you don't, you have to give it back to me, and you can loan it again for the next thermo. It's like giving it to them, but I didn't say I give it to them. And so far, all those that I gave the textbook, all managed to keep the textbook. Okay? And then I wanted to know their mathematics, their physics, how strong are they. I wanted to know their English, their command of the English language. Okay, and also I want to know the perception of this course. I'm sure they've heard it from their senior. That lecturer is a killer lecturer. You'll never get more than a C in his class. You know, those kind of things I want to know. And I want to know their expectation. Because at the end of the semester, I will have an exit survey where I ask them, did you meet your expectation? Were your expectation met? Or did you go beyond your expectation? So this is my, that was the entry survey. This is the photograph, and I'll give this to them to keep it in their learning portfolio. They have this in their learning portfolio with the names of their friends. They write this themselves. This is how I remember my students. Okay, so the other things that are available in my teaching portfolio, my 2B paper, peer rating, everything else. Okay, this is the evaluation. Okay, evaluation, exit survey. This is the evaluation. And I don't look for the good things. I mean, I know you feel good when people praise you, but I don't really look at those things. I look at where I can improve. For instance, this is the first time I did cooperative learning, yeah, and I showed them the virtual tour, and this was one of the comments that I got from the students. Adakah lawatan ke pusat jana kuasa terbang? Because the first time I did it, I didn't bring them to the power plant. So when I read this, the next semester I brought them to the power plant. But the next batch of students enjoyed it, of course. But this is an improvement, isn't it? This is an improvement. Okay. Saya harap Puan Hayati, oh this is interesting. Saya harap Puan Hayati mengajar pensyarah lain. Mengajar pensyarah lain tentang cara mengajarnya. Thank you. With you, temu is very much fun. And what else? Okay, ni lagi bagus ni. Rasa macam kat overseas. Get improve my English. But that's not important. To me, this is important. Our lessons more related to real world of engineering. I have achieved my objective. Okay? And then of course here, great teacher, mengajar jangan terlalu laju. So I do that. I keep on improving because I know I speak very, very fast. This is my exit survey, and I still keep on improving my exit survey. Okay. Now I look at what they mark here. When interestingly, yeah, what does this guy say? Strongly like thermodynamics. Thermodynamics teach. Okay, this is important. I like to work in group. See, they enjoyed the group project. Thermodynamics teach us how to think. I have a motto in class. The motto is think. That's my motto in class. And then what else? Okay. Advance beyond my expectation, and then I look at certain things like, for instance, okay, this one. I have easy access to the internet. I find that some of my students were not using the e-learning, and the reason was because I was wondering why they didn't have access to the internet. So I found out that later, this was one of the students, the repeat students. So when they repeat the students, they were sort of not being invited to the e-learning. And they kept quiet about it, wonderful enough. And you can see the correlation. If he says, I don't have access to the internet, yeah, then the e-learning is not really a useful tool for them. You see the correlation there. So this is what I did, yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, I started out my presentation with stories of inspiration. So I'm going to end it with a quotation on inspiration as well. I say here, this is actually a quotation. It says here, the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires. And that's what I hope to be. I hope I can be an inspirational role model for my students. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention, and I'm so sorry for rushing through because of the time and because of the amount of things I wanted to show you.